We all know villagers are a huge pain. This video is going to help you deal with them a lot easier. And it's going to go over a few different things that I know about, at least. That's just going to make it a little easier. But I do want to mention, if you look at the top left-hand corner, you're going to see the link to my Twitch channel. There's also going to be one in the description you can click. Go there to see a lot more entertaining things that I do, because it's a lot of fun. But we're going to move on right now. Many people, even in today's times, will do this kind of a thing in order to move a villager. Basically, build a long tunnel and put in some water and push him along a path. This used to work really, really well. Nowadays, it's a bit outdated. These days, it's a lot better just to use their own AI against them. That way you only have to build, well, nothing. Because these starting points only represent the beginning and end. You really don't have to build anything in order to get this started. What you really need is just a bunch of profession blocks, job blocks. Just layer the area with them, right? Make the path with them. Place down your villager, and you know he's going to look for this job. Once he gets it, break that one. Once he gets the next one, break it. Once he gets the next one, break it. And all of a sudden, you have your friend over here. You can even go further with this and like block it off. Like, I know he's going to get out now, but there he is. You can also do it this way. Watch, hold on. If we block it in completely, but just give him a way in, but not a way out, he'll even jump in the middle and trap himself just to get to the job. They have a weird AI thing when it comes to the edges of blocks. But now he's in the hole, and he can't get out. Sometimes you want a villager to be in a very specific spot, maybe on the other side of a wall, maybe inside a tiny little villager cell, whatever the case is. There's another way to do it other than just, job blocks. You could just kind of use beds as well. Another version of manipulating their AI. All you really need is a bed, break out the corner, and replace all the blocks around the bed except for the one spot that's going to get them in the cell, that corner, and just put slabs down or any other non-full block. You also got to make sure you put it over top of this to block the bed as a valid spot to stand on. Once you've blocked every other place and then nighttime comes, this guy will see the bed, go to sleep, but when daylight comes, he'll get out right inside wherever it is you wanted him to be. There's an important fact about villagers and other mobs that people don't either understand or know about. And it drives me crazy because a lot of times you'll see a situation like this where the person will have a villager inside their little trading cell and everything's good. Path is blocked. He can't go anywhere. He'll restock and refuel as much as he wants. But before that day comes, when he's, say, trying to cycle the trades of a librarian, perhaps, they try to do this. And then they realize he doesn't get the job back. Now, a lot of you probably realize right away that the problem is this guy. Because there for a split second, the villager thinks he can escape. This is the new job block that he targets. Remember, they try to get a job block instantly as soon as they see one. As soon as their programming tells them, hey, there's a job block around, they try to get to it. So for that split second, he chose this one. And since he's chosen this one, he will not choose this one until his AI, which takes a lot longer to realize that it doesn't have anywhere to go, that it no longer can get to this place. It takes a bit for it to realize that. So it takes a long time for him. He will eventually get the job, but there's a way to make it permanent because the reason is trapdoors. They think they can walk through them. They are invisible. They will either walk on them, or they will try to walk through them. You can use it to manipulate them, but in this case, it becomes a problem. However, if you just go ahead and, place a slab down, which does block their AI. this guy will then get a job. So even if there are other ones in the area and you break this one, he doesn't believe he can get there. So when you place it back down, he'll get the job pretty much right away. Thank you, dude. Thanks for being my demonstration. I really don't like you. Villagers choosing job blocks are kind of weird. Once you understand them, it's fine, but you'll see some people try to put job blocks at their face, which doesn't work. They don't see them there. They have to be down by their feet or within reach of their feet, which means you can bury one on the ground and even cover it with a trapdoor, and this guy can still get to it just fine. You can use this to your advantage in a couple other ways. You can drop a villager down a hole just like this. He's trapped. His friends can't bump into him and get out, and he gets his job. And as a plus, you can actually just break and replace his job block as much as you want, and he gets it back immediately because every block around here blocks his AI. He doesn't believe he can get anywhere else but where he is. There is, however, a problem with this because their AI is very, very weird. Very peculiar AI, and this is what some people get confused or don't know about. In this scenario, they don't see the job block. They won't go to it. So what you need to do is make their AI think they can get to it. Usually that involves building stairs. And if we just go straight down like this, he now believes he can get to the job block, and given a little bit of time, he will see the job block as long as it's within range, like he just did, and he will go and get the job. Now, as you can see, he's going to the hole and not the stairs. This is why their AI is so different. There's two different things happening, okay? Thing one is that he's trying to see if there are job blocks he can path to. This is the path that particular thought process, we'll call them thought processes, that's what that particular thought process checks. There is a walkable path to and from the job block. The second thought process is, how do I get there the fastest? Stairs take a little while. The fastest way to move up and down is to drop. So he's going down and dropping the Y levels rather than stepping down them because it's the fastest way to get down to his job block. So he's choosing the hole. So as long as the Y value, and as long as falling off of the Y value is not going to give them any damage, basically as long as it's not more than 3 blocks, they'll drop into the hole versus going the stairs. Though there is a way to maintain this and still block off the path by using trapdoors. Because remember, villagers think they can walk through those. So just in case you have that kind of a path and you think he might want to go the stair route, that'll keep him from getting too far. But usually they'll just jump down the hole because, yeah. As another example of what we can do with this whole trapdoor magicness, even though this is something that's widely used in a lot of places, I'm still going to go over it, 1, for completeness, and 2, because there are still people who are new to Minecraft, and everybody's got to learn. But as you can see, the AI of these guys does not let them traverse this hole right here. They will not cross it. Even though they want to go talk to each other, they won't cross it. Their AI says, my buddy's over there, I want to talk to him, but obviously there's a bit of a roadblock. But trapdoors trick their AI. Because, yeah, you can walk across them. Sure, no problem. But the thing is, their AI does not see them if they're open. Doesn't see that they're open. Let me be specific. It still sees the trapdoors, but it still thinks that they're closed. It doesn't recognize or register that they've been opened. So what's going to end up happening is if we put our friends in here, they come try to talk to each other. Really? There we go. It took it a second. Anyway, they just walk across because they think they can traverse it. And they literally walk to their deaths. That's fun. Did you know villagers don't drown if they're on soul sand. It's a fun little way to bring villagers into an underwater base build of some kind. Have all your traders down there, and their only weakness would be drown. But then again, zombies do find them from a pretty big distance, walk into water, and then convert over into drown. So it is a pretty big problem. There's also a breeder surrounding this idea that I was once upon a time trying to make work. And there's issues with it because I don't know, it's weird. They do pick up carrots and stuff from blocks, and they try to share it to their friends. But then you have the problem of them not actually being able to get it to their friends. They start juggling things, so on and so forth. So it's a problem. And of course, other breeders are a lot better and already well established. There's no need to reinvent the wheel. But if I could have made it work, this is pretty much why I would have. Wee babies! And they fly right out. It was so cool. Oh, those guys are getting stuck. There we go. Woo! Much better. I don't know. It was just cool. Now, we all know about iron farms and how tedious it can be to get the villagers in the right place. But the thing is, it doesn't have to be. This is one of those deals that I'm just confused why people choose the hard way to put the villagers in the cells. All you really got to do is just make sure the areas around the beds, kind of like I showed you a little bit before, are not full blocks. As you can see, they're a little bit lower. Soul sand works, tilled soil works, path blocks works, slabs works. There's a lot of things you can use that will force a villager to get out of bed somewhere else. And what we want to do is force them to only get out of bed here. Now, there's two problems with this and why this thing is not completely built. Problem number one is that if we cover all of these, the heads of the bed, the villagers cannot see that and they will not try to get into bed. Let's make it nighttime now. That guy can, but these two will have trouble. He can get into bed because he can walk right beside it right here. These guys don't have a spot directly adjacent to the head of the bed in order to get in. But if we just break this block, they can stand on top of the bed, both of them, and they will eventually go to sleep. As soon as he stops being dumb and realizes that he can move. There he goes. Then, while it's still nighttime, you put slabs over the bed. Every part of it, even the foot of the bed. Because if you don't, when it becomes daylight, they can get out somewhere else. So if we make it night again, let them sleep. And then again, make sure every single bit of the bed is covered, even the foots of the bed. And there's no other place for them to spawn out of bed. They'll all pop right into the villager cells. And you can do this anywhere. It's just about making it so they have no choice but to get out of bed in your villager cells. Everybody always uses water streams or rails, and I don't understand why. Here's another example of things you can do by manipulating the villager's AI. This build right here, which link in the description if you want to see this top to bottom. That's kind of the one we build in the tutorial. Shh, don't tell anybody. But this will allow them to make babies, as you guys have seen before. The babies will come down here and wait to grow up. Now, you've seen filters before that make it so the babies have to wait until they're grown-ups, but they always have leaks. Sometimes the baby still gets through. This is 100% the baby will never get out before it's grown. Just mentioning that. But once the baby grows, they will realize they have somewhere to go. They will try to get out, and they will drop down into these holes of their own free will and pick their jobs. And once that's the case, no more of these. He has nowhere to go. He can't drop in the hole with one of his friends because the bounding boxes, as you can see there, are kind of colliding. He's getting pushed back. So two of villagers can't get into the same place. So he literally has to wait. until these guys are, well, emptied. Because, you know, that does happen from time to time. As I mentioned before, if you'd like to see me in a more entertaining light, I do stream over on Twitch. Link in the top left and in the description if you would like to check it out there. Either way, like the video if you liked it and helped you out. I'd appreciate it. Subscribe for, I don't know, all the things I'm going to do in the future. And, comment if you have any questions. More than happy to see you guys in the comments.